welcome into another round of the Hop, the Craft Beer Podcast. It's round 148. I am here. My name is Stephen Humes here with my esteemed co-host, Gabriel Apria. And
that's me.
That's him. And we are the Craft Beer Podcast that makes craft beer fun, informative, inclusive, and entertaining each and every Thursday. And we're so glad you joined us. Thank you so much. We're headed back to the island this week, the great city of New York.
Yes, come back to New York, bro. Yeah. We got to go to a little bit to Brooklyn, a lot to Queens, because we're doing some evil twin. I'm losing the accent. It's not working. We are going back to, we are not going back. We are going to Evil Twin Brewing Company. They're a dope spot in New York. I see their beers just friggin' everywhere. I couldn't possibly tell you why or how Stephen was able to get these beers, but he was. Someone out there is looking down upon us and said, I got you guys.
I actually can tell you how that happened, and we can get into that a little bit later. But yeah, this brewery is one that, you know, has been on our radar for a long time. You probably know them from their peanut butter guy. The what's it called?
Is that the Sweet Baby Jesus?
Yeah, it might be. And they have a whole lot of
one
them,
called Even More Jesus,
which we do not support here on this podcast, but they have a lot of other things to offer. And honestly, this brewery is genuinely insane. Like, yeah, this brewery is, they might need to be stopped or encouraged. I'm not really sure, but
you might need to join their team full time. I mean, that's what it sounds like.
I'm starting with a triple IPA, just to give you a sense. That's where I'm kicking it off.
Hey, man, I drank one last time. You wanted one. You were jealous. It's a whole thing. So you're welcome. Get into it. These beers are going to be dope.
Yes, they are. So let's dive right in. We are The Hop, as we mentioned. We are available to, hit us up on all the social medias, Instagram, Twitter, the artist formerly known as Twitter. You can find us on Facebook. So our handles are at the HO Podcast. You can hit us up on YouTube. If you want to watch the show, we are a video podcast. Just search for The Hop, a Craft Beer Podcast. If you want to send us an email, make suggestions, requests, feedback, tell us we're pretty and beautiful. The email is thehopod@gmail.com. And most importantly, wherever you're listening, rate, review, tell your friends, tell your family, grow the hop community, because that would be cool of you to do. And we appreciate the support. So, hey, thank you.
Let us know what breweries to hit up next. Let us know what breweries to repeat. Let us know how many fantasy football leagues you are participating in.
Oh, it's almost time, baby. It's coming.
Time. Yes, it's right around the corner. We're so excited. Steven and I have our draft coming up. As of this recording, we will not have drafted, so I can say it. Very much looking forward to it. If you're in 12 leagues, send us a note, send us the proof. We'll give you a shout out. I was in 3 last year. I wanted to jump off a building, but we'll see how 2 or 3 again does it. But as always, we're here for you.
All right, let's dive right in.
Beer news.
Not too much to cover today. Some light news to talk about. Molson Coors is moving into the spirits space. They're launching, finally. Nobody asked for it, but they are launching.
Fine, guys. Come on in. You can join the party.
Coors Spirits Company is here. They purchased a Kentucky-based spirits company called Blue Run Spirits. Hey, don't put corn syrup in it there, guys. Yeah.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
Boom. Shots fired again.
As always, they have always been fired, and they always will be.
I'll never miss a chance.
Maybe their stuff will be good now. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Maybe.
Whatever.
Let's a girl can dream.
Yeah.
Also, just in the world of trends and whatnot, Oktoberfest is, believe it or not, Oktoberfest 2023 is just around the corner.
Holy shit!
The beers are coming out, man. Jack's Abbey released one recently. I think Firestone Walker's Oktoberfest is coming back out this year.
I think I'm still hungover from last year participating in the Brooklyn Oktoberfest. Listen, those those beers are not for the faint of heart. They are hard to do. It's a lot of brewski. Maybe have one or two and then two more, but whew, get a pretzel.
But I will say this, and I think this is a new development since we started this podcast. We've been doing this podcast. This is our 4th year. Oktoberfest is genuinely one of my favorite holidays now.
Yeah, same.
In terms of a drinking holiday, I'll put it that way. In terms of a drinking holiday, it truly is one of my favorite things that exists. I love the beers. I love the Marzens and the Fest beers. I love those lager styles. They're not something I drink on the reg. So it's just a great drinking time. If you're a beer drinker, like, 'tis the season to be jolly, my man.
I mean, it's a reason. Yeah, like you said, like it's a reason to pull those out because we don't drink those all the time. But I will say, having participated in the Brooklyn Oktoberfest last year, like I had just so much fun. Just me and a shitload of friends. And we just drank our faces off, danced on top of the table like you're supposed to do. We jumped on a social media trend where somebody films you taking your first sip of the evening and then your last sip of the evening. And let me tell you something. Those videos were different.
How it started versus how it's going.
Absolutely. I literally was like, "Hi, I'm Gabriel. This is my first drink of the day." And by the end, I literally was like, "What's up? I'm Gabe. Fucking what? I'm doing it." Like, we were just hammered. It was awesome.
So get pumped, people. Send us your tag us in your Oktoberfest adventures. We want to be a part of it.
Hell yeah.
The biggest news we need to talk about is that Tilray has acquired 8 craft beer brands back from Anheuser-Busch. And this is kind of a huge deal, what we call a BFD in the biz. This is kind of awesome. So Tilray, if you're not familiar with Tilray, we've talked about them a good bit. They are a leading global cannabis lifestyle and consumer packaged goods company. What they are also the parent company of Sweetwater, Green Flash, Montauk, and Alpine Beer. So something that beer drinkers might be able to relate to is the beer brands they own and not the weed and whatever else I just said. But
also yes, but they do a lot. They know what's up.
They do a lot, and they're really positioning themselves to be big in both the cannabis and the alcoholic beverage space in America. So they need to finish closing the deal, but upon satisfaction of closing conditions, they are going to acquire Shock Top, Breckenridge Brewery, Blue Point, 10 Barrel Brewing, Red Hook, Widmer Brothers Brewing, Square Mile Cider, and Highball Energy back from Anheuser-Busch. And you know what? That is worth a round of applause.
Tilray, I don't know how you did it, but you guys did it. Here's the other thing I wanted to say. We might want to put the pause in talking about things before the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, because if we've learned anything from this podcast is that we always have the info and then the deal always falls through. Looking at you, Maui Brewing Company.
You know what? That's a fair point. But this is, it just seems like Anheuser-Busch has had their own issues, and it just seems like they basically, if you're not familiar with the history of this, Anheuser-Busch basically decided to get into the quote-unquote craft beer space by buying up a bunch of these brands like Blue Point and Shock Top that were once craft beer, sort of, and calling it their craft beer division. And it just seems like Anheuser-Busch, from this news and what I'm reading in the tea leaves, it just seems like they're not putting a lot of energy into that. So Tilray was interested. Anheuser-Busch was sort of happy to unload, and it's good. Basically, it's going to include the current employees, the current breweries and brew pubs associated with each brand. So everybody's keeping their job.
Dope. Yeah, I really love that it's like, yeah, we're holding on to you guys. Stick with us, and we'll get this train moving.
It's also going to elevate Tilray to be one of the largest craft beer businesses in the United States, up to the 5th largest. They had been at 9th. This is where you get into that kind of thing where it's like, all right, is Boston Beer Company craft beer, right? Because they own Sam Adams and they own Dogfish and they own all these smaller brands within the big conglomerate. But who cares? The point is, it moves these brands closer into craft, I don't even know if it's going to make a big difference in the taste of Blue Point or Shock Top or 10 Barrel or any of these things. But it could.
I don't know about taste. I see like a potential like new beer, like new beers popping up.
More creativity. Yeah. Ultimately, we love to see craft grow and Anheuser-Busch fall. And so to that end, this is good news. I will say that it's an all cash deal and it's reportedly valued at $85 million. So Tilray,
$85 million in all cash? What do you put that in?
Dug into honestly a little sketch, if I'm being real about it.
You can't put $85 million. Like,
you go $85 mil, you might want to write a check on that one. That's
what, you got like a couple briefcases that you got to do the handcuff to the person holding it.
Yeah, right.
Deal? Like,
right.
85 mil in cash. Yeah, you better hire some security because
that's how they're doing it. But that's the big news. More details to come, and hopefully, to Gabe's point, this actually happens and doesn't just end up being something we talked about for no reason.
That would be ideal. But anyway,
we have a lot of beers to drink. But before we do, we're gonna return to a segment we haven't done in quite a while.
Yeah.
This week in gross.
Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts is at it again.
They're at it again, and
oh, Lord.
The thing is, like, I don't hate the Dunkin' beers. So if you're not familiar, Dunkin', the coffee company, teamed up with Mass Bay Brewing?
I thought it was Harpoon.
Yeah, it's Mass Bay Brewing, who are the parent companies of Harpoon. And they, for the past few years, have been releasing this Dunkin' Donuts, I think they call it their ugly sweater or something pack. It's like, we did it on round 49, if you want to go back and listen to our Thanksgiving episode, year 1.
Yeah, it's just their seasonal holiday, let's make some Dunkin'-inspired beer. And not all of it was bad.
Not all bad. Some good, some bad. But now they're going cold. And that is where it gets weird for me. They have released basically a round of what I guess are RTDs. They're calling it the next Dunkin' alcoholic beverage release, and it's a Dunkin' spiked iced coffee and a Dunkin' spiked iced tea.
Yeah, I feel like that's how you made the cut for This Week in Gross. The tea is just what pushed you over the edge.
Yep, we're not fans of the tea at all.
Yeah.
So, because the thing is, like, the coffee, when it was coffee beer, it was fine, but now it's alcoholic RTD stuff, and that's a different category that I don't know how on board I am with.
So let me ask this, because I couldn't find this information. What is the spirit? Is it vodka? Is it rum? Like, what is making this spiked?
Whoever knows. I think it's probably like vodka. I think it's more like a seltzer than it is anything else. It's got an ABV of 6%. The tea has an ABV of 5%. And there's 4 signature flavors of each, I guess. The coffee has original caramel, mocha, and vanilla. And the tea, we have slightly sweet, half and half.
No.
Spiked strawberry dragon fruit and spiked mango pineapple.
I think not. That sounds woof. That sounds disgusting. Tea, I just like twisted tea. I can't do this stuff. Just doesn't sound great. You had me at the coffees. I will say, I would try it. We could make another video.
Look, I love iced coffee as much as the next guy. I've never had alcoholic iced coffee. Like, I know this is a thing that exists, and I'm not talking about pouring Baileys in your iced coffee. I'm talking about the pre-canned RTD category.
Yeah.
I don't know that America runs on this. I'll put it that way. America runs.
I think America falls on this. Is what America does. Let's stick
to bagels and donuts and nice hot cups of Joe.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know. It worked for beer. The beer's not bad. So maybe, I mean, if you've got an RTD, I mean, I just don't know what the spirit is. Is it vodka? Because that's going to lose you brownie points, but we'll see.
I just don't. I mean, it's not rum or tequila or anything. Like, it's just generic alcohol, and which is basically, it's like grain alcohol.
Why the hell not, Steven?
Listen, no arguments here.
It's like grain alcohol? We're going to go blind.
I don't know. It's whatever is in seltzer. I don't know how this stuff works. I don't like RTDs. I don't drink them. I don't approve of them. I want this to stop across the board. I just want to.
I feel like, the inner bartenders in us are mad about this stuff because we like to just like make the drinks. Like anytime I'm making a drink and I got the shaker going, I'm like, oh man, yes. I'm the fucking man.
I guess what it is ultimately I don't like the trend. I didn't mean to get on a soapbox about this. I'll keep this quick. I just don't like the trend of, I'm drinking, but I'm not drinking. Like, look, either drink or do not drink. But this whole like, no, I'm just sipping on a light refresher. Bitch, you're drinking. Just
piss or get off the pot.
Yeah. Okay, we have to move on because we have a lot of beers to do. So
4 beers to do. 4. And we're on our own. We're going solo.
Yeah. We're covering Evil Twin from every angle that there is. So it's my job to raise a toast this week, and I am not going to play any music. I'm just going to keep this as quick as I can. But I felt like we'd be remiss if we didn't mention and sort of take a minute to talk about the recent situation in Hawaii. We had Maui Brewing on our show, round 95. There's obviously been a devastating bunch of wildfires and situations in Maui. Death toll as of this recording is around somewhere like 116, 120 people. It just keeps climbing. More than 1,000 people remain missing. And there's been 3,000 or more homes and businesses destroyed, damaged. Losses are estimated to be around $6 billion as of now, but who knows? Oh. It's complete and utter devastation that is heartbreaking to read about, to listen to people talk about. And, there's not much we can do necessarily, but you can obviously give money. There's funds that are being set up, but I just wanted to say something about it. And so I was kind of reading about some of the local healing rituals that locals are participating in as they kind of look at the rebuilding project ahead of them. There's Maui Kumuhula Cody Pueo Pata is his name. And he was basically talking about this, and he said, you don't need money to pray. So the locals are gathering in these kind of, prayer circles and intention groups and other things of that nature, whatever you believe in. And they focus their thoughts and intentions using a well-known chant that is well-known to the locals. It's called Iho Mai. This man, Pata, he said, we start with Iho Mai because many people are familiar with the song. It's something that underpins our sense of the importance and value of music. And so I will read that to you now in the worst Hawaiian pronunciation I can muster. It goes, Iho Mai, Kaike Mai, Luna Mai E, O Na Mea, Huna Noeo, No Na Mada E, Eho Mai, Eho Mai, Eho Mai. And that translates to, grant us the knowledge from above concerning the hidden wisdom of songs. Grant us these things. So, that is my toast today. Our well wishes, our thoughts, our prayers, all of that stuff that we can muster. And if you have money to give, please give. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing beer initiatives come out, towards the rebuild. We see it all the time.
Yeah, man. Hey, sign me up. Anything to help. As we've mentioned many times, beer for a cause is a real thing. It happens all the time. We see it all the time. All it takes is one brave soul to jump on it. So we would love to help participate in any way we can.
So, not the most fun toast, but that's what we're drinking to today.
Amen. Hell yeah.
And with that, we shall go to the East Coast and Evil Twin Brewing.
Okay.
You already know you're going first. You already
Well,
know.
Steven's got a triple and I've got a Pilsner, so we could do a coin toss if you want, but like I guess I'll just go. I'm drinking the low life because that's what I am. I'm a low life. I do nothing. This is the Low Life Pilsner, 5.5%, no IBUs. Beer Advocate gave it an 83. Untapped gave it a 3.5. The note from the brewery says, a clever woman once said, fair is foul and foul is fair. On that note, we threw in a young, unacknowledged hoppy Pilsner, gave it a limp, wrinkly flavor, okay, and finished it off with an insultingly high price that will give you a foul feeling in your mouth. You guys aren't really selling it to me yet, but let's dive in. That's why we name Evil Twins Brewing Low Life the gold digger of beers. Okay, let's see it. Here it is in the glass.
I told you the brewery was insane. I said it,
I'm
I
with
wasn't
it.
lying. So
I'm with it. SRM chart, we're looking at about a 6 to 7 sort of deal. Very light yellow. I can't see through the glass, but I do see the bubbles rising. Very nice head retention. Got about a centimeter thick. Looks cloudy, pillowy head. Looks fun. Looks like it's going to be a solid way to start the day for me anyway. Steven's going to be wasted in 5 minutes. And let's give her a sniff.
Yeah, I made some mistakes, but I like that you at least have a Pilsner to kick it off, and they do just have so many different kinds of beer styles at this brewery. It's honestly overwhelming to click on the beers that they've brewed over the years and just take a look at what they do. They're very creative, they're very fun, and insane.
I also found like 4 different websites for the same brewery. Although the logos were all the same, but their website, it was kind of all over the place, but whatever. The Low Life Pilsner, it smells like a Pilsner. It smells kind of a little hoppy, though, which I'm excited for. It does smell a little bitter. That citrus and florality in a normal Pilsner is there. It's probably going to be super easy to drink. It's probably going to be delicious and refreshing. I am interested in the head retention that it gives. I'm wondering if that will give a softness to it. And we have 4 beers to do, and the other ones are just more epic. So there she goes. Cheers, everybody.
Drinking out of a Lakers glass. Love to see it. Yeah, it's a hoppy Pilsner, which you don't see all that often, and I do love it when we get beers like that. Pilsners are obviously lagers. They are more malt forward as a style. They tend to be more earthy, more grassy, more straw and hay. So when you can bring those hop notes to the front and kind of have that marriage, it does make generally for a pretty nice drinking experience.
Oh man, solid. It's fluffy. It's like a cat. It's just fluffy. The head retention does something to it. It makes it softer. It makes it a little more fun in the mouth. It has a really nice zingy light carbonation. It's like just enough, but it like hits your tongue perfectly. It's got a medium sort of bitter finish. Like you get a little bit of hoppiness with this. I think if you were to crank up the ABV, and obviously I'm not a brewer, so I don't know exactly, but if you were to crank up the ABV and change a few things, you could have an easy West Coaster style IPA right here, right now. Like, wow. I wouldn't be surprised if one day they come out with like instead of Low Life, they call it like the High Life, and it's a West Coast IPA, and it's like 7% or whatever. It's got the characteristics of that while also being a Pilsner. It's light, it's easy, it's got the strong bitterness, slight bitterness. It's floral in a way. It's little bit of citrus. I feel like tangerine. Maybe a little bit of orange peel, not a lot, but like just enough. It's soft in the mouth. I like it. It's a perfect way to start a flight. It's a perfect way to start a marathon of drinking, if that is what your day looks like. It's I will admit, at my local watering hole, I didn't have a whole lot to choose from. I could have gone to the Ridgewood location because I've been there before, but life is just a fickle bitch, and so I only had so much time. But I like this one. I'm glad I got it. For those of you on YouTube, very quickly, speaking of the breweries, I am in the Dumbo, Brooklyn location. Stephen is at the Ridgewood, Queens location, which I have been before. Food trucks are outside. They apparently have a brewery cat that walks around and just chills while you drink. Fun for the whole family.
So you've been there. Did you see the cat?
I sure did. He was he was walking around like he owned the place. I was like, yeah, good for you. And we got some food at a food truck. We brought it over to the table. We had a few beers, and obviously they taste way better on tap. I am interested in this location, though, because Dumbo is, although getting around Brooklyn's kind of a nightmare, Dumbo's not far from me, so if you're in town.
Yeah, going to what you were talking about before with the multiple websites, this is a brewery that started in Denmark as a kind of nomadic, didn't have a location brewery, and they didn't have one for a very long time. So if you go to eviltwin.dk, like Donkey Kong, you can get to one website, and then you can go to eviltwin.nyc, I believe is the other one. eviltwin.nyc is the other one where you can see a lot of the beers they brew in New York. They also do a lot of collabing with other breweries all over the place. So you kind of got to look at the can and be like, okay, where was this brewed? Because it kind of goes all over the place.
The Low Life apparently was brewed, I believe was brewed by our friends at Two Roads.
Oh, see? Look at that.
Bang!
Love it.
Exclamation point!
Indeed,
we were just
Michael.
there.
We were just there.
I finally saw Area 2. Finally. Anyway, this isn't about them. I like this beer. It's fun. It's fluffy. It's delicious. It's a great way to start. It's 5.5, so it's very easy to drink.
All right, let's just rip this Band-Aid off here.
Steven, what do you got?
I have, as mentioned, a triple IPA. It's called, and this is the name, and I'm just going to read it to you. It's called OMG How Funny Is This? Manhattan has a street named after our hometown, Houston.
Thank you for saying it right.
I'm pronouncing it that way because that's the way you pronounce the New York one.
I got yelled at when I first moved to the city. I was like, oh, Houston Street. And the person I was with was like, you moron.
Definitely not. Here's the can if you're on YouTube. It's basically a picture of a sign on West Houston Street in New York. It is a triple IPA clocking in at 10.5% ABV. Untapped has it rated at 4.32. Beer Advocate, nothing yet. And I will tell you that the reason I grabbed it off the shelf, besides it being a triple IPA, which excited me, is that it's double dry hopped with Citra, Mosaic, and Galaxy, Gabe. But also, and most importantly, it's brewed with milk sugar. And when I saw that, I said, you know what? I got to do it.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Description from the brewery, brewed with milk sugar and hopped with Citra, Mosaic, and Galaxy. Notes of orange juice, orange zest, melon, berry, and pine. Medium, full-bodied, creamy, mouthfeel, balanced sweetness. This beer was brewed at the Ridgewood location. The label that you're looking at on YouTube, a lot of the New York-y ones kind of look like this. They're they're sort of clean. They have this white background to them, and they are generally like pictures and photography more than some of the other cans that are more artwork. And it was distributed by 12% Beer Project, which is a beer collab that I believe we've talked about in Connecticut, but if we haven't, they're out of
North Haven.
Yeah, they're out of North Haven, Connecticut. They also, I think, have a center in Mount Vernon, New York, and 12% distributes out this way, and that is how I was able to get these beers and a lot of other beers from the East Coast.
Hell yeah.
Here it is in the glass.
Oh, Lord.
Yep. She looks like the hazy triple of your dreams. It's got a creamy look to it. It looks like juice. It's thick. It's hazy, if you can even call it that. It's completely opaque. It's a sort of pale straw color, maybe light orange color. SRM chart, I'd probably put it in the 3 to 4 range. It's kind of light. It poured with a creamy little off-white head that has since dissipated, but I can tell you right now, lacing around the glass, it's cake in the glass. It looks pretty. So this is going to be in that world of beers that Gabe and I like a lot. similar to the Casual Acquaintance from White Lion, similar to the whatever the one was called from that brewery in Connecticut.
Armada Brewing. Evil Prince?
Yeah, something like that. It takes the haziness and the juiciness of a New England IPA, and then it takes the ABV, kicks it up a notch, which just makes it like candied and stuff like that. So here we go.
What a name this has. I've never seen a beer name that be that long. That's
honestly
insane.
They have a lot of them that are like that, and I'm like obsessed and here for it. I absolutely love it. The nose is nice. It's pithy for sure. It's got that orange rind quality to it. It's got that sort of like more earthy citrus quality, a lot of citrus, but it's definitely soft. You don't get a lot of like alcohol or anything on the nose. Nor do you get much malt. It's pretty much straightforward hops. Maybe a subtle hint of some vanilla and some sugar, coming from that milk sugar. I'm excited to see what that does. It's going to be more of a mouthfeel thing. But look, we got 4 beers to drink. We're running out of time. I'm just going to drink it. Here we go.
All right, well, while Stephen gets wasted on that, I'll briefly talk. So if you've heard of Mikkeller, if you like Mikkeller, you're going to have to choose a side here because this brewery, Evil Twin, was started nomadically in 2010 by Jeppe Jarnit-Bjergso. I know I'm saying that wrong. This originated in Denmark. He is one half of the Mikkeller co-founders. According to what we found out, they ain't speaking to each other no more, which sucks.
Did he found it with his brother, or did his brother just found a brewery and this guy founded a brewery and they just called it a day, or did they found it together? Because I genuinely do not know the answer to that.
I thought they founded and started together. I could be wrong, but that was my impression.
It's possible. The Mikkeller
memory.
logo is like 2 dudes facing each other, so it could make sense. But yeah, he is they're twins, and he is apparently the evil one, hence the name of the brewery.
It's amazing.
So yeah, they both opened breweries in Brooklyn around the same time as each other, and Mikkeller, as we've talked about a lot, has since left the neighborhood. So it's Jeppe's land now.
Mikkeller's they've had some cleaning up to do, so to speak, in the past, but we're hoping that things are cleared up now. So we can talk more about the brewery in a second. Stephen, how we doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's friggin' delicious. Orange juice, a lot of orange juice, a lot of orange zest, a lot of the rind, the grapefruit, the darker flavors, melon, berry. There's a pininess to it. There's a dankness to it. It's got some bitter bite. It's not all just sweet citrus, but man, that milk sugar makes it creamy as fuck. It's like soft in the mouth. It's like it's similarly fluffy. I mean, I would say that. Different
got a
from your
couple
beer.
cats over here. Am I right?
But it's really balanced, and it's dangerous because you do not taste the booze. You need to go carefully with this. You will just drink it like it's a regular hazy New England IPA, and you will find yourself on the floor. It's delicious. It's luscious. It's decadent. It's an event beer for sure. And the back end is just lingering sweetness mixing with a little bit of lingering hop bite. Take your time with this, but man, if you can get your hands on this one. They also had a quadruple IPA in the same store. I mean, they do some crazy shit. Like, I'm not lying. This brewery, I think this sums up the insanity. In 2012, they were being interviewed about a beer that they were brewing, and at the time, it was a 10.4% stout with hints of vanilla on the nose and bananas, molasses, and wood on the palate. It was called Soft Dookie, and the guy Jeppe was describing it, and he goes, "This is literally this is a quote from an interview in a verified news source." He said
he said this.
He said, "I know this is a stupid story, but when I was changing my son's diaper, and when babies are born, their newborn, their poo actually smells a little bit like vanilla. It's soft and it's sweet. So that's when I started thinking about the beer."
Where are they?
Oh
What?
my god.
Ew.
You know what? We need another one.
Oh my
Jeppe.
god.
Ew.
However you say your name, my guy.
Buddy, let's.
What the fuck?
Why are you smelling your son's shit? It smells like vanilla.
I mean,
my god, that's
they make
concerning.
great beers, but holy shit! And I mean, we just don't have time to go into like all
He
of the
could have
stuff.
like made up a story. He could. Oh man, he told the truth. God,
He told the truth. Look, they're innovative. They're crazy. To Gabe's point, they're multiple locations in Brooklyn. They also have a coffee shop. He and his wife were the owners and operators of a bar called Torst Bar for a while, which is in Greenpoint. I don't believe that they own it anymore, but they were part of the founders of it. If you look at the word Torst, it's got this weird kind of O that's like a Danish O, which is something you see in their name. So it's known as one of the best beer bars in the city. So the dude knows beer. That's my point here.
He knows beer. He just doesn't know how to talk to editors.
He just doesn't know how to hide it when he's sniffing shit, making a beer out. We're just kidding. Your
we
beer's
love your
great.
beer. Don't hate us. Oh Lord.
So they have this triple, and they have a lot of other beers like it. I think this one is really good. I think it's really balanced. I think if you like this kind of stuff and you like the high ABV beers, this is a knockout of the park to me. I don't see any flaws. It's appropriately hazy, but it's well balanced. It's got the bite. It's got the booziness, but it hides it. It's warming. It's great.
I love that journey for you.
Mic dropped.
I immediately like just pulled up their beer page, and I'm seeing another beer that has like kind of what yours. It's not really artwork. It's more of just like a photo. Why are the shared electric bikes always broken? Triple IPA is the name of the beer. Well done.
And why are they? That's an excellent point.
That's true. The bike situation is a bitch. Okay, so let's do it. All right,
do it.
We have other beers to get through. We have shit to do, so don't waste any time, Gabe. All right, here we go. All right. My Italian side is coming out. I've got the Imperial Biscotti Break. It is an Imperial Stout. Yeah, I'm drinking a stout during the summer. Fight me. Imperial Stout brewed with coffee and with almond and vanilla extract. Steven, don't drink this.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, bye. It is 11.5%, so I'm jumped up to join Steven. IB user they say it's at 66. We'll see. Beer Advocate gave it a 96. And for those of you who understand those ratings, that is identified as quote unquote world class. Untapped gave it a 4.08. This might be my favorite brewery description of a beer. Italy has a certain je ne sais quoi, fab food culture, highly decadent history of art and cool countryside. Some might argue the people are loud and flamboyant. They steal our women. The soccer players melodramatically flop on the pitch. Listen, that's all part of the secret Italian ingredient. Keep it cool, confident, arrogant, and extravagant. Forza Italia. And I'm just remembering I should have worn my Italian jersey, but I did not. Here is what this beer looks like on the mics. Now, for those of you watching on YouTube, you think stout, it's dark, it's a 40, it's jet black. Not so. I'm giving this a 39. This is basically very dark brown. This is not jet black 100%. It's like, I don't even have to hold it up to the light. I can see it's got a little bit of brown in there, which I love and appreciate it. Got just a ring around the glass as head retention. It apparently is a good seller, and I hope it's hot in here, so drinking this is going to be interesting, but who cares?
I could have joined Gabe on this train, but there are almonds in the beer, so I couldn't. I also, and I'm going to reveal this on the mics because why not? I bought another one of their beers that's basically a donut beer. Got it home, and then as I went to read about the beer, I read that there were almonds in that beer too. And
Yep.
you know what? That's on the local beer shop for not putting that in their description of the beer. Or it's on me for not reading hard enough. One or the other. But they do a lot of these. They have the Jesus series that we talked about. It's peanut butter stouts galore. As a concept, I do not agree with peanut butter stouts. I think at this point we've had one or two on the show, so I can't even say that anymore, but it's just true. But they do a lot of them. But it's called the Imperial Donut Break, which is an Imperial porter that's like greater than 10% ABV, and it's got vanilla and donuts and all kinds of stuff. And then they've got this one that Gabe's drinking, and they're Imperial Stout heavy. They like their Imperial Stouts.
They don't fuck around. We're still taking requests on what Stephen should do with that beer.
And I voted to just risk my life on the mics for y'all.
Yeah,
but I was overruled.
Stephen literally texted me and was like, should I? And I was like, no.
I thought it'd be great audio. I mean, one way or the other, we're going viral probably. I mean, that could have been the moment. That could have been our greatest episode of all time. At least I would have gone out with a bang. Whatever. He overruled me, but I tried.
I'd be sitting here like, well, there's literally nothing I can do. We're literally not together. It's been nice knowing you. Can I have your stuff? This smells like chocolate. It smells like vanilla. It smells like a cookie. But it smells muted in a way, which is interesting. I wasn't expecting like a punch of aroma off the smell, but it's very subtle. So let's see what the taste is like. Arrivederci.
Arrivederci. I feel like those Imperial Stouts tend to be a little bit more muted on the nose, and they tend to have do more in the flavor. So we'll see what happens. We mentioned this brewery started nomadically. The man is Jeppe, or however you say his name, and his brother is Mikkel Borg-Bjergso. We don't know how to say it. Of Mikkeller. They moved to New York in 2012. They were given the opportunity to do this sort of to land the brewery in 2016, and it finally opened in 2019. So if you're not watching on YouTube, the Dumbo location I think is the newer of the two. The Ridgewood location is this beautiful kind of, it looks like a greenhouse, honestly. It's
dope.
Very wide open space, very lots of natural light, lots of plants around the place. It looks awesome. And
when the weather is nice, they keep the doors open, so it's just like you're basically outside. It's sweet.
Yeah, and they say their mission is to expand upon the traditions of innovation and further it with the intimacy of local neighborhood microbrewing. With more control over their recipes with the locations that they open, they are now able to experiment on new flavors while perfecting the classics. So that's who they are. And then we mentioned it briefly, but they do have a coffee shop as well. It's really Twin Peaks themed. So
yeah, Twin Peaks themed coffee shop. They apparently are working with their favorite micro roasters over at Super Lost Coffee. So if you know that brand, definitely support them. The coffee shop is in Brooklyn, I believe. It appears to be. You can take the A or C train. Those are always fun. That might not be Brooklyn then. I don't know. I don't care. I'm basically drinking coffee right now. I've got their Imperial Stout. It's very good. It's a classic. Here's why I'm glad. Like, obviously, if it was like thicker, I still wouldn't have cared. I would have been happy to have it. But you don't drink stout in the summer. It just does not mix. But right now, it's not. I'm fine because it's not as thick as you think. It's not like drinking chocolate syrup. Like, it's not syrupy. It's not sticky. It's like a classic stout beer with strong promising flavors. It's got a little bit of the almond, I think. I feel like I'm getting more like almond cookie rather than like almond the nut.
Don't know what that means, but sure.
Of course not. Chocolate, it's got a little bit of velvetness to it. Not Velveeta, that's cheese. That's something different. It's just a cheesy stout.
A note of Velveeta.
A note of Velveeta, if you will. Yeah, I like it. I think it's this one's. I forgot it was 11.5, so I took like a couple sips and I was like, wow, my throat, like I need to relax, and then I was like, oh yeah, this will put me on my ass. So I think it's cool. I think it's different. I saw Biscotti and I was like, let's go. And then I read the description. It was all about Italy. And I was like, there we go. Take me back. Also, shout out Stanley Tucci, that show he has. He's just walking around Italy eating pasta. Steven, you said pasta is one of your favorite foods. You must watch that show.
I love it. I'm very jealous of that man and that he got someone to sign off on that show. It's like, I'm just going to, what's the concept? You know what? I'm just going to go fuck around Italy for a while. Okay, Stan.
Great.
Saddle him up.
Great. I'm going to go meet people and speak Italian and eat a bunch of pasta. And then one night I'm going to get a bunch of really nice cheese from this guy and I'm going to cook for the cameramen and the producers. And that's literally what he did. He grabs the camera and he's like, all right, do you like it? Do you not? He's like filming everyone. It's hilarious.
And CNN said, here's money. Go at it.
Yeah, pretty much. Very good. Very flavorful. Steven, don't drink it. I pass the torch.
Yeah, I got to go. And so you might be asking, what is it that could make a triple IPA that could, where do you go from here, Steven? You started with a triple IPA behemoth. It's 10.5%. Well, I'll tell you, it's called the Molotov cocktail. And not only that, it's the Molotov cocktail chili version.
Ooh!
It is 12% ABV and yeah, I'm terrified.
Damn.
This is a bold Imperial India Pale Ale with a fiery kick from the addition of chili peppers. This beer boasts a robust hop profile and a spicy, warming finish. The Molotov cocktail is originally a tripa in its own right. They've done a lot of different versions of this. They have done versions with different hops, they've done a New Zealand hop version. They've done different adjuncts. They've done a guava version, a peach, passion fruit, grapefruit. They've also done a Molotov Light. If you're a pussy, it's only 8.5%. Only 8.5. So that's the light version.
Fucking bitch. Oh my God.
And they have a Molotov Heavy, which is 17.5%. And that's the right response. I don't even know there's nothing to play. There's nothing to do. It's just
Give me a hell yeah.
Sure.
17. I full disclosure, I thought you were going to play something. 17%.
You know what? I thought I was too. And then I was like, you know what?
My jaw was just on the floor. And
what I just said says it all.
Stephen was like, yeah, that's it. I was like, great.
So.
Oh my God.
This is not that. This is the chili version, but it just blew my mind, and it has chili peppers in it, and I said, how can I not? So.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. Untapped has it at 3.89. Here it is in the glass if you're on YouTube. If you're not, this is a darker color than the last one I was drinking on the SRM chart. An 11 or 12. It's a dark amber color. It poured with a rich and frothy, again, kind of eggshell colored head. A little bit darker than pure white. Lots of retention, lots of lacing. And it has a reddish hue to it as a beer, too. Little slight reddish hue.
Those chili peppers.
Yeah.
Good luck.
What I will say is it's not it's kind of cloudy. You can't exactly see through it, and there's some sediment in it as well, but it's not as hazy as like the triple IPA I was drinking before. I mean, if you're on YouTube, I'll even put them side by side so you can see the differences here. This one looks to be more sort of West Coast style in terms of a triple than the triple I was drinking before. So I'm going to smell it now. And here we go.
Good Lord. I am terrified for you. But that sounds insane. I can imagine that the 17% behemoth they have is not served in like a pint can. I'm assuming that has to be like, if you're going to buy that, it's going to be like a 500 milliliter bottle, right?
Probably, yeah. Probably. It reminds me of the beers we did from like Avery Brewing would be my guess.
Yeah, that's it. The second you said 17%, my brain immediately went there. So I agree with you.
This one on the nose, it doesn't. I'll tell you that it smells just like an IPA. It smells like a triple IPA. I would say this one is much more dank than the previous IPA I was drinking. This one leads more with pininess and earthy hops as opposed to the juiciness. The juiciness is there. It's still got that citrus quality, and it's again sort of orange zest. It's very earthy, but it leads with the bite. The chili peppers you don't notice on the nose really at all.
Interesting.
Which doesn't surprise me. I think that'll be more of a flavor and a mouthfeel thing. But it's a hop show. It tastes like candy. It smells like candied hops. Not a lot of malt. Not a lot of anything else going on. That's what it is. So I'm gonna drink it now. Wish me luck.
Good luck, Steven. I'm gonna call you after this episode in like an hour, and I'm gonna be like, "What's up, man?" And you're gonna be like,
I'm working through it.
I can't stand up. You're just gonna be absolutely hammered, and I'm jealous. You know what? I have an 11%er and a 5er. I'm on the weaker side. Is it spicy?
Whoa. Yeah, I was like, okay, here's the thing. You take a sip and you get triple IPA. You get hops, you get booze, a little bit of booze, because this one's more dank than the juicy one, right? So you get a little bit of booze. You get the candied quality of the hops. They're sweet, but also bitter. There's a mix of those things going on. It's a hop show, nothing else going on. And I was just getting ready to be like, fuck, man, where are the chili peppers? And then I swallowed it. And then the heat started to creep down my mouth, down my throat.
Oh,
and
shit.
It's lingering. I mean, it's warming. It's juicy. It's mean. It's heavy bodied. It's got a moderate to low carbonation, but the heat comes after the sip, and it's on your palate is just left with this like lingering bite, but also this just lingering heat feeling in your mouth. It's not overwhelming. It's not pure fire. It's not unpleasant, but it's definitely hot. And I do like spicy beers on occasion. It's not an everyday thing, but as an event beer, I like that. This is a different experience. There's just no two ways about it. So,
wow.
Props.
I feel like this beer would it would either ruin your dinner or go really well with the perfect pairing. Like, what food would you pair this with?
I mean, I would go something like light, maybe like a fresh pasta with like a white sauce. It's just something simple, because this honestly is going. I wouldn't eat it with food. I'll just say that. I'll just put it that way. Don't eat it with food. Just enjoy it.
Probably not. But I just thought of maybe it can. The spice would you're drinking the hot sauce that goes with the dinner.
Yeah, like you don't want to eat this with buffalo wings. You're just going to be burning your mouth and burning your mouth again.
Yeah, acid reflux disease. You're going to die.
It's, again, not an everyday thing, but I think it's very well balanced for what it could have been. It's very good to me. It's fascinating to me, which is always a good thing. And I already feel a buzz, and I've had like 4 sips of these 2 beers. So,
oh boy, Steven's going through it.
All right, Gabe.
Yeah,
we're low on time.
Yeah.
Is Bob in the building?
Bob's here. He clocked in today.
Oh, Bob, nice of you to show up and come back to work.
Jerk.
God.
Can Art and Crafts.
This Can Arts and Crafts is going to be a little challenging because although I love the photo that Steven's beer has, it is just kind of like a photo on a white can. So I don't know. I think if we had the whole lineup, we'd give it credit, but I'm going to give that a solid 3. I'm sorry. There's not a lot going on. East Houston Street can suck it. But
wow.
It is up there. It is cool. It is interesting, and it is different. So maybe I'll give it a 4. I don't know. We got the Evil Twin Low Life. We've got a pinwheel, pretty much. I didn't really notice that until now. a red pinwheel right in the center with a bunch of other pinwheels around it. Muted, faded colors. That's fun. I'll give you a 6.5. My Biscotti. It looks like the color of either a biscotti or a carpet you would find in the 70s. If you ever watched that 70s show, I feel like all you see is this color. It's like orange and red and brown mixed together. It's got a throwback vibe, and I appreciate that, so I'll give you a 7.4. What's this fiery behemoth Molotov cocktail? Ooh, it's another pinwheel. We got another pinwheel, people. Oh my goodness. This one is fun. This one's got some dark red colors against a black background with Molotov cocktail written in white right across. Big, bold, beautiful letters right across the top. I will give you a 9. I'm giving you a 9. You stand out. The beers definitely do stand out. They're standing next to somebody else. You know what it is. You know it's Evil Twin. Bob Ross is here. He clocked in today. He loves... Oh, I dropped him. He loves spicy things. So he would probably love that beer. He loves his job, and he loves us, and we love him. That's another very quick edition. Can Arts Crafts.
Looking at what's on tap again, I mean, it's just everyone you go, that's insane, and you scroll to the next one, that's insane, that's insane. It does not stop, and they seem to be like pretty much all ridiculously high ABV. I don't know. Yeah,
they're pretty up there. That's what's kind of funny about this whole thing.
I mean, this is this is a Mexican style cerveza that is. That one's a Pilsner. So that one's okay. I
see a quad. Oh, the quad is only 11.7. I'm looking at the King Marlin.
It's kind of crazy.
Punchy Quaipa. Double dry hopped with all Citra. Amen.
I like that terminology. Quaipa. That's a first. We've had Dipas, Tripas. We got a Quaipa. I like some of the beer names too. They got some that are named after. They have one called, it's a pale ale called Ryan and the Gosling. And the picture is just a picture of Ryan Gosling.
I'm looking at the NYC bagel tax is no joke. Another triple. 10% double dry hopped with Mosaic and Matika.
And I will give we could go on for days about this. Just, go to eviltwin.dk or eviltwin.nyc and take a look. But I'm going to give my last shout out to a version of their Baby Jesus. I don't even know if this one is peanut butter or not because it doesn't say it on the website, but it's an Even More Jesus that's the version is Pappy's Even More Jesus. This is an Imperial Stout aged in Pappy Van Winkle bourbon barrels. Michael.
Bang! Exclamation point!
That's crazy.
I saw that on the site and I thought, oh man, if I had seen that, I would have absolutely grabbed that. We can make an episode just on that beer alone, probably.
Yeah, that's insane. But again, it's beers on beers on beers. We can't go into it forever. This brewery, I can't say it enough. They're insane. They're simply insane. They're doing crazy shit.
Crazy.
And we are here for it. So, Evil Twin. Good work. You've ruined my night. And I say that in the best way possible. All right.
All right. One last thing.
Last call.
Gabe, you're Italian. You take the lead on this.
I forgot we were doing this, and then I read the headline, and now I'm so much happier. All right, yeah, we're staying in the Italian world. Oh, God. All right, let's just read it. A woman says she fractured her ankle when she slipped on a piece of prosciutto.
She's taken out by ham.
A piece of ham took this lady out, and now she's suing. This happened in Boston at the Boston Eataly, which is an Italian food emporium. It's amazing. Everybody knows about Eataly. I don't know why I'm explaining it. This happened last year. This woman was walking out, and there's a piece of prosciutto on the ground, and here's what blows my mind. She fractured her ankle. First of all, no, you didn't. How do you fracture an ankle? Isn't a fracture like worse than a break?
Not a doctor. I don't know there, but I do know that she's suing for because she sustained bodily injuries, a loss of enjoyment of life.
I can't believe that's a thing.
Pain and suffering, incurred medical expenses, medical charity. Like, my ultimate takeaway on this is like, I mean, is there no limit to what you can sue for? I mean,
oh yeah, you can do whatever you want, and if a
loss of enjoyment of life.
Apparently, her medical expenses resulted in more than $7,500 in bills, which for a fracture that sucks. But let's just break this down,
baby. You got to up that insurance.
Sometimes the copay pays for itself. Prosciutto is, if you get it done well, if you want it right, it's paper thin. If somebody took a whole like round of like bologna, like the giant circular hoard of meat, threw that on the ground and you tripped on that, you could trip on that. You can't trip on prosciutto. It's paper thin.
It's not like a banana peel. That's the thing. Like, it's not slippery like that. I mean, I don't know what, look, you know what? I'm not here to judge this lady's experience. She slipped on the ham. She got her. My question is, like, do we know that she hasn't won the lawsuit? Well, we know what she's suing for, but she hasn't,
I was just going to ask, do you know what she's suing for?
It's just like, I've tried to sue someone before. It takes a lot of work. You got to file a lot of paperwork. You got to find people. It's hard to do. And I assume that she has a lawyer somewhere who's telling her that she has a case. And,
some lawyer somewhere was like, listen, I need work. Yeah, I'll run this for you. What do you want? Yeah. She wants $50K.
Okay, that's a lot.
That's a lot for a piece of ham. At the very least, if it were me, I'd be like, just pay for the medical bills and let's call it a day. The lawsuit does claim that Italy was, quote, negligent of not properly cleaning the floor. But again,
I don't want to diminish this lady's experience. I guess she slipped and fell. It's sad. Slip and fall is a whole category of, I feel like we've reached a point as a species, at least in this country, where it's like, if you slip and fall in or around a business, payday. Good for you. You did it. I mean, you can't pretend to fall outside of a business. Usually that doesn't work. I'm not saying it's fun to slip and fall outside of business, but I am saying if it happens to you, mama's getting a vacation.
Your luck is about to turn around. Yeah, you just have to endure a little bit of pain and you'll be rewarded handsomely. It doesn't make any sense to me. It makes me fearful that, prosciutto is one of the best meats in the world. I feel like if I fractured my ankle on prosciutto, my first thought would be, well, let's get some free prosciutto so I can eat it rather than let's sue it.
That's what Gabe would sue for. This lady's suing for $50K. Gabe's like, look, cut me a slice and we're good. Cut me
a slice, maybe 2 pieces of bread. Let's get into it. Who are you suing? You still beefing with someone?
You
don't have to give the details, but
it was, suffice it to say, I didn't ever get that far because I couldn't find them, and that's the whole problem. That's why when you see in videos and stuff, people are like, "You've been served." Why, because you have to. If they get if you just avoid, if people can't find you, you cannot be sued. This is what I learned.
Really?
If you simply go off the grid and they can't locate you, you are unsuable because they can't serve you the papers, so they can't hold you accountable. I mean,
that's all it takes.
Unless we're talking civil here. If you commit a crime, that's different.
Wow.
You commit a federal crime.
If someone wants to sue me, I just need to basically run.
Go under the radar. Just Yeah, if they can't find you, if you don't have a listed mailing address, know where they can send the paperwork to, if they can't easily access your email, can't really get you on the phone, these are things that make you unsuable. I've learned. This is what I learned from the court system in Los Angeles. So if that's not true, then the Los Angeles public court system sucks, and I hope they hear this and are listening right now because it's their fault that I didn't get my money back.
Did you sue for $50,000?
It was not for $50,000.
What the hell are you doing, Stephen? This woman did it over a piece of ham.
I feel better that I've aired this public grievance on these microphones. Yeah, lady, look, get your bread. Because she's gonna get the money. That's the thing. Like she's suing Italy. At some point, they're gonna be like, "What? Just give her the money. Just make this go away."
Probably not $50K. They'll probably give her like 27.2 and call it a day. And the lawyer's gonna be like, "Listen, there's no way we're gonna get the full amount. Just take the W and let's get the hell out of here." Like, shit, I would.
Good luck, Alice. Watch out. What we're saying is watch out for dangerous ham.
Dude, ham can kill you. So watch out for it because it's a dangerous meat. On the charcuterie board, you gotta be weary, all right?
Inside and out.
Ridiculous.
All right, we gotta go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for another great round of Drinking Evil Twin. It has been simply a pleasure to indulge in your insane concoctions. So thank you very much. We will be back. And our next episode, I don't want to get anyone excited necessarily. I don't want to hype this up too much. But
it's like not really that big of a deal.
It's not the hugest deal. I'm just saying that the next time we talk to you, it will be the very day that the NFL kicks off. So I'm just saying that. And I'm just putting that out in the world.
Here we go, Lions. Here we go. They're playing the Chiefs. I know. They're playing the Chiefs.
Not even.
And like, it's so funny hearing everyone be like, yo, Jared Goff this year. And I'm just like, yeah, okay. Shut up, Detroit.
That's a conversation for another podcast. But yeah, we'll talk to you then. Until then, drink good beer, live your best life. Have a happy Labor Day weekend, and we'll see you on the other side.
We love you, Hawaii.
Yes.